Meet Tom, the face behind the popular YouTube channel Haunted Finders, a solo investigator with a deep respect for history and a passion for uncovering the paranormal. His channel is known for raw, unfiltered explorations into some of the UK's most haunted places. But one investigation, deep in the heart of Nottinghamshire, would leave a mark on even this seasoned ghost hunter. It happened at East Stoke Church, a location shrouded in violent history, tied directly to the bloody Battle of Stoke Field, one of the last and deadliest conflicts of the Wars of the Roses. It's said the nearby river once ran red with blood, and that the bodies of fallen soldiers were buried in a mass grave right on church grounds. The moment Tom arrived, the weight of that history was undeniable. Wandering among the ancient tombstones, some dating back over 300 years, Tom began filming.
This place, if you don't already know, sits right opposite the field where the Battle of Stoke Field took place, which was said to be one of the bloodiest battles of English history. So many people died in that battle that there is a small river that runs alongside the field, and when people were trying to escape, they slaughtered them into that stream, and apparently the river ran red with blood that day because of how many people were slaughtered. So there's a lot of crazy stuff that went down here, and they actually mass buried a lot of the soldiers from the Battle of Stoke Field in this churchyard, and there were that many of them buried that the churchyard now sits higher than the church. Wow, I got a really weird feeling then, walking past my own windows then, I swear. I thought I saw someone looking out. What's that? What? Oh, that is clear. What is that? What does he say? Definitely shouts.
But as he passed by one of the church's windows, he froze. There, just for a split second, he caught the shape of a figure staring back at him from inside the building. No one else was supposed to be there. A chill ran down his spine. Still, Tom pressed on. He set up near the site believed to be the mass grave and began an EVP session, asking if any spirits were present. The response was immediate.
Don't antagonize.
Don't antagonize. I'm not here to antagonize. Still graves present here from 1701.
Horrible things happened here.
Whoa. Disposed of.
Cursed land.
Cursed land. Just heard someone walking down here. You coming to join me? I've just heard you. Come. Such a strange feeling here. Someone walking behind me. I can hear you. Come closer then. Come and sit with me. Can you hear that? Please tell me you can hear that. Someone's just walked underneath the tree.
Leaves rustled behind him. Footsteps, slow, deliberate, circled the area. As Tom stood to adjust his camera, something was hurled at him from the shadows, landing with a loud thud, then another, and another. The spirit wasn't just speaking anymore. It was acting, throwing objects, stalking him, making its presence known with terrifying clarity.
I'm not going anywhere. You don't have to throw stuff. Okay? I don't know if that was on the audio, but I stood up to put my phone in my pocket so I can get the recorder out. And if someone threw something over here, and again, stop.
Though Tom eventually left the location without injury, the experience left a deep impression. He had been followed, threatened, and physically targeted by an unseen force. Was it the unrested soul of a fallen soldier, furious at his violent end, an unmarked grave? Or could it be something darker? Something that feeds on the pain soaked into the very ground of East Stoke? One thing was certain. This entity didn't want to be forgotten. And after this encounter, neither will Tom. Some places aren't just haunted. They're warning you to stay away. This is Chris from the YouTube channel Blood Outdoors Show, a place where he shares his love for the outdoors through peaceful camping trips, scenic hikes, and honest gear reviews. Most of his videos are a calming escape into nature, but sometimes the wild doesn't cooperate, and Chris never shies away from showing that raw, unpredictable side. On April 18th, 2022, Chris uploaded a video of what was supposed to be a quiet solo camping trip deep in Harwood Forest, England. His goal? A little solitude, some much-needed time away from the stress of everyday life. But what started as a relaxing getaway quickly took an unexpected and unsettling turn.
So folks, I've came off the main path and I've came into the forest. I've been walking about 20 minutes and I've just passed, about 5 minutes ago, a bunch of young'uns, 7 or 8 of them. I'd say they're about 18, 19, 20-year-old, something like that. So that would have been the perfect place to camp as well. I've stood and talked to them for a bit, and they even asked me if I want to camp there next to them, but I'm an old timer compared to them. I don't want to be sat next to them. I want to get out, find a spot by myself. So I think I'm going to walk for another half an hour. I want to get well away from them, because they'll have the music on and they'll probably be messing about and that. I just want to chill, a few drinks, a few whiskies, and just enjoy the peaceful forest. This looks about the best spot I've come across.
With his pack loaded and the forest trail ahead, Chris hiked deeper into the woods, looking for the perfect secluded place to pitch his tent. Eventually, he found it. The kind of spot you dream about. Quiet, calm, untouched. He set up camp, kicked back with a drink, and took it all in. For a moment, everything felt perfect, peaceful, safe. But that calm wouldn't last.
So I reckon I've got about an hour and a half, 2 hours before it's dark. So rather than just sitting there drinking, I'm going to go for a little wander, see what's kicking about. This is not a bad little spot. It's on a little bit of a slope, but it's nice and grassy.
While wandering through the trees, filming the scenery, Chris became aware of something unsettling. He had lost track of his path. He wasn't exactly sure where he was anymore, being alone, deep in a dense forest, and suddenly unsure how to get back to camp is a chilling realization. But Chris stayed calm. Trusting his instincts, he retraced his steps and eventually made it back. That's when he noticed something wasn't right.
So here we are back at the tent. Whew. I was shitting myself a bit there, like I've went right over there and I'm thinking, oh God, I'm lost. What an idiot. But I came back and here we are. I was thinking, hey, why are you some professional camper? Can't even find your tent. Hey, what the fuck's happened there? What the fuck's this? It's me fucking... Fucking hell, man. It's fucking strange. Too fucking... Sorry for the language, guys. 2 Cornish pasties and meat's gone. I mustn't like peppered salami, that's still there. And thank God my whiskey's still there.
Half of his food was missing. No sign of an animal, no obvious disturbance. It was just... gone. His mind raced with questions. Could it have been the group of kids he passed earlier pulling a prank? Maybe some sneaky wildlife, or something far stranger. Something that defied explanation. Chris stood in silence, trying to make sense of it all, Despite the uneasy feeling settling in his chest, he made the tough decision to stay. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe things would return to normal. But as night fell and darkness swallowed the trees around him, that sense of unease only grew. The forest was quiet. Too quiet. No more missing supplies. No more strange happenings. But the tension, it never left. Chris made it through the night, still haunted by the unanswered questions and the eerie quiet that blanketed the woods. So, what really happened out there? Was it just a hungry animal, a careless passerby, or is there something else lurking in the shadows of Harwood Forest? You decide. Let's meet Dan, the man behind the popular YouTube channel English Woodsman. A seasoned solo camper, Dan is no stranger to the solitude and unpredictability of life in the wilderness. His channel is a calming escape for many, a documentation of peaceful nights under the stars and the quiet challenges of surviving alone. But on one particular trip, the woods would push him further than he ever expected, turning a peaceful night into something far more terrifying. It all started like any other outing. Dan found a secluded spot deep within a dense forest, away from people, noise, and distractions. As dusk settled in, he set up camp and spoke about something only experienced solo campers truly understand, that heightened sense of awareness when you're alone. Out here, every sound is amplified. Every crunch of leaves, every creak of a branch feels significant. But this time, something felt off.
When you come camping with friends, 2, 3 of you, you sort of like, you don't have a nerve build up, you know, you're not a little bit aware of your surroundings because there's a small group of yourselves. You need just to switch off from your normal life, let's say, and you need to take in your surroundings. Your noise is what you were, like I can hear a stream over that direction. Yeah, when you're solo camping, you really need to tune in. And you'll do it without realising anyway, but when you solo camp by yourself. I've done this for years, on and off by myself, and every time I still come out and I still need to feel.
While prepping dinner, Dan began to notice faint, strange noises coming from the edge of his campsite. Quiet, distant sounds, too subtle to be alarming at first. He tried to shrug it off. Maybe it was just a small animal, maybe it was the wind, or maybe it was just the nerves. The kind that creep in when you're completely alone in a pitch-black forest. But the feeling didn't go away. In fact, it got stronger.
I keep thinking like I heard something. I don't know. It's probably me. Letting my mind play tricks with me. I always keep thinking that I'm hearing something around. But when you're by yourself, you're
Later that night, seated in the dark with only a dim lantern flickering beside him, Dan confessed to his viewers that he felt watched, that eerie sensation of eyes in the dark, just beyond the light's reach. Still, he tried to keep his cool. It wouldn't be the first time his mind played tricks on him. Eventually, trying to get some rest, Dan made what he later called a fateful choice. To drown out the noise and calm his nerves, he shut off his light, put on some music, and zipped himself into his bivy bag. But the peace didn't last long.
I said like a weird, like a sniffing noise like a dog. Earlier we're on about if you're with somebody else, things like this won't bother you, and it's true. But when you're by yourself, little noises do give you butterflies.
Suddenly, a bizarre sound shattered the night. A heavy, wet sniffing noise, disturbingly close. It sounded like a large dog, but something about it felt wrong, unnatural. Dan lay frozen, listening. It came again and again. The sniffing was rhythmic, deliberate, like something trying to figure out what he was or whether he was worth approaching. Visibly shaken, Dan recounted the experience the next morning. He admitted he was spooked the hell out. The sound had returned multiple times throughout the night, each time closer than before. So intense was his fear that he scrambled out of his sleeping bag in total darkness to hang his food and gear up in a tree, hoping whatever was out there wouldn't be attracted to his scent. He made it through the night unharmed, physically, but mentally, the encounter left a lasting scar. So, the question remains, what was it? An ordinary forest animal, something curious, maybe hungry, or something else entirely. Something drawn to Dan's isolation, feeding on the vulnerability of a lone camper in the dead of night. Whatever it was, it didn't want to show itself, but it definitely made sure Dan knew it was there. In the wild, the silence isn't always peaceful. Sometimes it's the quiet before something terrifying makes itself known. And as Dan learned the night, the scariest things in the woods are often the ones you can't see, only hear.